Testing. 1, 2, 3. Live in 3. OK. This is Stephanie Flanders for the BBC. Now, for the past week, I've accompanied a high-level European delegation tasked with solving Europe's sovereign debt crisis. Today, we're in Fripperary, in the heart of the Republic of Squanderland. The head of the European Bank of Common Sense and Stability, Bertrand Plastique, and the Chancellor of Frugalia, Helen Dunkel, are both about to make a surprise inspection of the most debt-encumbered asset in Europe, an investment property bought at the height of the Squanderland property bubble. And the property in question isn't particularly impressive. Its debt's rather small relative to the trillions of euros that are owed by all Europe's governments, banks and citizens. We're here because out of all of that debt, this is the one that's been rated the most likely to default. If they can solve this small but apparently symbolic problem, the leaders believe they'll finally restore confidence in the markets.
How are you?
Bonjour. You must be Jude.
That's me.
We have come to solve your problems.
Mighty, I have a touch of athlete's foot.
No. Your financial problems. I am Bertrand Plastique, head of the European Bank of Common Sense and Stability.
Honoured.
Helen Dunkel, Chancellor of Frugalia.
Delighted.
Finian O'Driscoll. I'm in charge of what's left of the Squanderlandish banking system.
Wait, I know you. Didn't you sell me my...
I'm in the government now.
Bien. So, this is it.
It'll be a very attractive henhouse when it's finished.
Well, you won't believe this, but I can't get a tenant.
Well, to be fair, you'd probably need a roof on it for that.
May I inspect your henhouse?
Certainly. Who's she?
We would like you to meet Heidi.
Heidi is here as a representative of the plain people of Frugalia.
Guten Tag.
Oh, yeah.
We are trying to help the plain people of Frugalia understand why they must help the people of Squanderland.
And Skyvia.
And the Anarchs.
And the Payelans.
And the Gaulois. And so we are taking Heidi around Europe, showing her what was bought with her money, so she can understand why we now have to take the rest of our money off her.
Heidi owns your henhouse.
But I didn't borrow from Frugalia.
To be fair to the Europeans, you did, because you borrowed it from my old bank.
Run that one by me again?
Well, nobody in Squanderland was saving anything, correct?
Sure, why would they bother saving with interest rates so low?
So where do you think I got the money to lend to you? Yes, at the height of the boom, my bank was borrowing billions a week from Frugalian banks.
I am not happy with my henhouse.
Do you mind if I ask Jude a few questions about his situation? It'll give the story a bit of a human interest angle.
Certainement.
Fire away.
You seem to be the last person in Squanderland to invest in property before the bubble burst. Can I ask why you left it so late?
Well, at the height of the boom, I was snaring rabbits for food and clothing and living under a tarpaulin up a tree in Lofty Bog.
A lot of people will wonder why you could be so poor right at the heart of the greatest boom in European history.
Because I avoided the credit economy entirely.
Madness!
I didn't understand how everyone could get richer by increasing their debt.
You poor innocent.
But how did avoiding the debt leave you worse off than the people in debt?
Because everyone else in Squanderland was borrowing and spending and driving the price of everything far beyond my reach.
Yet, despite being so poor, you did finally purchase quite an expensive property. Can I ask why?
Well, I was the last man in Squanderland without a loan. And it was the last investment property in Squanderland. I think Finian found it a challenge. He chased me for 3 miles across soft ground in Wellingtons. I respected his tenacity and signed the papers.
10 million does seem a bit excessive for a henhouse.
In retrospect, it does, yes. But he told me it was an up-and-coming area.
For hens or for humans?
He failed to specify. I neglected to ask.
Why is there no roof on my henhouse?
Now, let me turn now to the President of the European Bank for Sense and Stability and the Frugalian Chancellor. Chancellor Dunkel, the prudent Frugalian here, at the end of the day, bought a henhouse in Squanderland for €10 million.
To her intense surprise, yes.
Heidi also owns a shed in Scavia with no walls, a garage in Paella with no floor, and a toilet in Anarchos with no door and a view of the Parthenon.
But as you both know, previous moves by European leaders to solve the long-running crisis in the Eurozone have been criticised as too little, too late. How will this latest initiative work where all the others have failed?
Well, our latest plan is both bold and far-reaching. If we can mobilize the financial firepower of Europe to put a roof on this henhouse and stabilize its debt, the markets will be reassured.
And now, Miss Flanders, we need to negotiate a solution with the owner of this asset.
Such negotiations can be delicate. We don't want to upset the markets.
We need a little privacy. Perhaps it is time to conclude now?
All right, then. I'll leave you to it. Heidi, I might take you away for a minute and interview you about the situation in Frugalia.
Ja.
No, mine's not the helicopter. It's the bicycle there.
Ooh.
You can sit on the carrier. It's just a question of balance.
Very frugal. I approve.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. Jude, our records show that you are behind on your payments.
Well, yes. At present, the mortgage repayments are several orders of magnitude more than my income, and I owe 10,000 times what the property is worth.
Typical. It's your kind have this country destroyed.
Pardon?
Well, you did let the banks down badly, Jude.
We did?
You did. Take some responsibility for your actions. Don't try to wriggle out of it by blaming it on the people. You let down the banks, Jude.
I did. I'm sorry to hear it. How did I do that now?
You lost faith.
You and millions like you.
And a people without faith. Well, it pains me to say it, but we may need to replace the people if the banks are to be restored to their former glory.
I'm sorry. What'll you replace us with?
Rational actors.
An oxymoron in my experience.
Not film actors, economic actors.
Economic actors.
Yes, classical economics states clearly that people are rational economic actors who maximize their financial return.
Yet you bought a house which was not worth a fraction of what you paid for it. Was that rational? It was not.
I'm sorry, Finian, but I thought that the place must be worth the price because you chased me through the woods and up a tree to loan me the money.
Because I thought you were a rational actor, maximizing your financial return. You lied to me.
I'm sorry, I didn't know I was lying.
Well, you have one last chance to make up for it.
What's that?
Pay off your debt.
And save the banks.
Which will save the government.
Which will save Europe.
Which will save the world.
The future of the planet depends on you paying for this henhouse.
I'd be delighted to, but for some reason, the harder I work now, the poorer I get.
That is not what we want to hear.
Well, you understand economics. What should I do?
It is vital that you save in order to pay off your terrible debts.
Fair enough, Chancellor. But why has the European Bank of Common Sense and Stability cut interest rates to nothing so? I mean, you're punishing me for saving.
Because it is vital that you spend in order to help the economy grow its way out of its terrible debts.
Okay, I'll spend so.
Oh, what? Spend? No, you need to save in order to pay off your terrible debts.
Okay, I'll save then.
What? Save? No, you must spend to help the economy grow its way out of recession.
I'll spend.
Spend? But that will make Europe's debts worse.
I'll save.
Save, but that will make Europe's recession worse.
But I've only got €1.
Save it! Save it!
Now we've dropped it.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure that €1 would have been enough anyway. Could you spend
And save.
a bit more, please?
Gladly. But where will I get more money to spend and save?
Don't look at me. Every bank in Europe is bust.
Oh, we appear to be at an impasse.
Is it possible that you are misdiagnosing the problem in some way?
No. The finest classical economists in Europe have devoted themselves to this problem night and day for years. The solution is clear. Spend.
Save.
Spend.
Save.
Spend.
Save.
Spend.
Okay. Do you have a book on classical economics that I could borrow? It has aspects which puzzle me.
Oui, certainement. Here you go.
Thanks. I'll drop it back to you when I'm finished.
Oh, keep it. We can add it to your bill.
Do you have any other assets at all? Jude? Jude.
Oh, now this is fascinating stuff, this classical economics. I had no idea I was so rational. Well, I've eggs, the hens are laying well.
Oh, no. You must be serious. We need something solid, of lasting value. Euro, banknotes, money. Are you not earning money?
Well, I did work for money for a while, trying to pay for this place, but I had my wages cut to help meet the nation's debts. Then my pension contribution was raised to help meet the nation's debts. Then the entire National Pension Fund was taken to help meet the nation's debts. Then I was laid off to help meet the nation's debts. Then my unemployment was cut to help meet the nation's debts. Right now, all I have left after a lifetime of labour is the immense debt on this property and the sweet rain that falls on it from heaven.
Well, at least it's a liquid asset. It'll have to do. Okay, we'll take it.
Take what?
Is this sweet rain that falls from heaven? Put a roof on your hen house to collect it and send it by pipe to Frugalia.
What do you need water for? Don't you make the best beer in the world?
Oh, it's for export. We don't drink it ourselves. Too expensive. No, we like water.
And it is important that the illusion that you are paying off your debts continues. The steady flow of a liquid asset will reassure the markets.
But I have neither the materials nor the money to pay for a roof or a pipe. I see from this book that I appear to be in a classic debt spiral, with income not meeting expenditure.
Bien, well then, follow best practice according to classical economics and do what Europe's governments do.
Great, I will so. I haven't got that far yet. What do they do, spend less?
No.
Earn more?
Oh, no.
They issue a bond.
Then I shall issue a bond. What's a bond?
A fancy class of a loan. You promise to pay it all back on a certain date. In the meantime, you pay a set rate of interest.
So how is it any better than an ordinary loan?
Because people can buy and sell your debt in the bond markets. It's a liquid asset.
Bien, Finian, we'll leave you here to help Jude launch a bond while we draft a communique to reassure the markets.
Grand, so.
Bis später.
I wonder is Heidi on the radio yet?
I think she's a bit annoyed about the henhouse.
She has a nice face. I'll just have a quick listen.
Frugalians have a reputation for great economic prudence. Why do you think this is?
My family have lived and worked in the same village for 5 generations. My great-great-grandparents invested their life savings in war bonds under the Kaiser and lost everything. My great-grandparents invested their life savings in peace bonds under the Weimar democracy and lost everything. My grandparents saved under the Nazi regime and lost everything. And my parents saved under the communist regime and lost everything.
Thank God things have improved. Okay, now we don't have very long. Any questions? Ask away. Oh, and bear in mind the markets are watching us. Don't spook them.
How much should I issue in bonds?
Well, what do you think a new roof would cost?
Well, it's not much timber. €30?
No.
Less?
More.
I suppose I could charge for my labour €50?
More.
Well, if I used hardwoods, mahogany, and I could do a little inlay in walnut, some scroll work, a couple of €100?
Good God, man, you don't understand the European bond market at all. A couple of €100? She'd never be able to get a loan that small.
Why not?
Too risky. No, you need to issue a bond for at least €1 billion. Make it 5. No, 10 billion to be on the safe side.
€10 billion to put a roof on my henhouse?
Yes, because then the markets understands that the government, the European Bank of Common Sense and the FMI will do everything in their power to protect your bondholders. This will lower your interest rates. You've got to make the roof of your henhouse too big to fail. Okay. Here they come. Oh, and Heidi's with them. Good. Watch.
Stephanie decided to cycle to the airport.
Charming woman.
How is it going?
Mighty. We've sorted out the details. Now to auction the bond.
But seriously, who will buy it?
Heidi will.
Heidi won't.
Heidi what?
Heidi, hi. Jude here is issuing a bond to finance a roof for his henhouse.
Why would I buy bonds in a ruined henhouse that cannot possibly pay back the money?
Doesn't he have a lovely face?
He does. But what is his overall debt dynamic over the life cycle of the bond?
Don't bother your head with that. Do you play golf?
You want me to pour more money into overpriced, unfinished Squanderlandish henhouses?
I do.
You can go, Wissel.
See, I told you.
You fail to understand the subtleties of the modern European bond market. Watch. So you refuse?
Yeah!
Great! Excuse me, Chancellor Dunkel? Bertrand?
How's it going?
Great!
No, it's not.
Shh. This bond will save Europe, but sadly your citizens have let me down. I fear the auction will fail.
Oh dear. How much is the bond for?
10 billion.
Out of the question.
Oh, did I say 10 billion? I meant 100 billion.
That's more like it.
Oui.
Bertrand, support this bond auction in the secondary market.
Très bien. I will go and inform the banks that we will accept these bonds as collateral for 3-year loans.
Bis später.
There. Done.
What does that mean?
We've made your henhouse roof too big to fail. Europe's banks can now buy your doomed bonds and immediately give them to the European Bank of Common Sense and Stability as collateral for loans from the European Bank of Common Sense and Stability to buy more bonds to use as more collateral. And so the ordinary, hard-working banks of Europe take no risk. It has vanished.
But the European Bank of Common Sense and Stability is taking the risk instead.
Yes, technically. But Europe's banks are back in business, and that's what counts.
But given that I can't even pay my original debt back, let alone this massive new one, there's an absolutely ferocious risk to whoever ultimately funds the European Bank of Common Sense and Stability.
Oh, that's just you and Heidi. Sadly, certain sacrifices have to be made to save the system.
So, wait a minute. So Heidi has just bought my bonds after all?
Of course she has. Who else would be so stupid?
But she said no.
When taxpayers say no, they really mean yes. Well, that's the bond launched. Obviously, with 100 billion to spend, we need to put a roof over the whole thing to justify it.
A roof over the whole what?
The whole of Squanderland.
All of it?
Yes.
Just a roof?
Yes.
No walls or floors or foundations or, anything to help keep it up?
Oh, I don't see the necessity for any of those things. It's too big to fail. Just a roof will do. A transparent one. Don't worry.
But we don't make anything in Squanderland anymore. Where'll we get the machinery and materials to build a transparent roof over the country?
Why, from Frugalia, of course.
But surely that'll just make our debts to them bigger.
Oh, temporarily. Here, put on this hard hat. Time is of the essence. Follow me.
But don't you need planning permission? I needed planning permission back when I first tried to put a roof on my hen house.
But you haven't put a roof on your hen house.
Exactly. 5 years already and we're not done. Consultations, objections, very thorough process. Permission to put a roof over Squanderland could take...
Oh, no. This is top-level European economic policy making. We certainly won't make the mistake of consulting with the people. There has been no planning and we need no permission.
Whew. This is a very tall ladder.
Half a mile high. Made from modern, lightweight composite materials fresh from Frugalia. Oh, yes, if you could carry these. My back,
Tools.
Golf clubs. Up you go. That's the way. That's the lad. Yeah. Great. That's it.
Wow. The sections are so thin, so light. And there's not a lot holding this up. And it's a very long way down.
No matter. If they've got the shape right at the design stage, it'll be totally stable. All you have to do is hold it all together. Oops!
Let's see. You pin them together like so.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, but it's still very wobbly.
That'll be grand. What a view! Smell that fresh air. Yes, the country should be back on its feet in no time.
What a lot of balls.
Pardon?
No, those.
Yes. Pass me that club.
There you go.
A little short. Why are you clinging to that strut? You know, when my bank was betrayed by the Squanderlandish people, all I was left with was a pension worth 16 million euro, various properties in the names of wives and children, and 250,000 golf balls bearing the logo of the bank.
Wow. I think you're going to hit my hen house. Oh.
Pass me that 9-iron and a new tea, and put on the kettle. You'll need something before you start work on the roof. Wait, is that an egg?
It is?
God, I'd love an omelette. A huge omelette. Dozens of eggs. 100. Why not? Would you like the greatest omelette in world history?
Well, I'd happily share an omelette, all right, but I'm afraid I brought only the one egg. I could go get more.
Not at all. It's on me. The greatest omelette in world history coming up. Give me that egg.
There you go.
Oh, nearly dropped it. I've always had difficulty with physical objects. Now, if this was a derivative of an egg, or better still, a derivative of an egg, sure, I'd be laughing.
Are you not going to crack the egg?
No. I'll just deposit it here. Okay, 1 egg. We'll call it our capital base. I've a friend used to run an investment bank. Hang on. The secret, you see, is leverage. Brendan! I've an asset I want to leverage. Will you give me 10 on it? Sound. Now I've 10 eggs.
You have?
Oh, Brendan's word is his bond. Although, admittedly, his bonds were insured with Lehman Brothers. I should have said as good as money in the bank. Although his bank was registered in Iceland. Maybe I should say as safe as houses. Although, anyway, now, all I need to do is just invest my 10 eggs. I've a friend who used to work at a hedge fund. Ruin! I've 10 eggs I want to invest. Yes? Great demand for eggs, is there? Yes, put my eggs into more eggs. Brilliant! Oh, and if you could assemble them into a structured product, grand.
God, I've been making omelettes wrong all my life. What happens now?
Now Rowan will ring Brendan and he'll leverage up the 10 eggs. Hello? Wonderful.
What?
Rowan has rung Brendan. Now we've 100 eggs assembled into a product. Well, that's the omelette made. Bonuses all round. Where's the salt?
I can see but 1 egg, and it's still raw.
But, it always worked before.
Look, why don't I go back down to my place for some more eggs and make an omelette in the old manner?
Okay, let's get down to work. Now, this goes, Oh, dear. Maybe they fit together better this way. Oh, dear, oh, dear.
Look, I tell you what, why don't you work on your handicap while I build the actual roof?
Excellent idea. My strengths are managerial. Four!
Navigator, rise up and be strong. The morning is here and there's work to be done. Take your pick and your shovel and a ball.
There you go. A good week's work. Half the roof built already and delicious omelettes.
Thank you. 20, 40, 60... Phew, not as bad as I expected.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to deduct your social insurance contributions. And the emergency pension levy, and the new property tax, and the VAT hike, and income tax, and the income tax hike. And, no, you keep that.
Oh.
Minimum wage. We lowered it again.
Well, sure, I'm glad to be able to contribute so much to the nation's future prosperity. I wonder, should I spend it or save it?
Well, I've a degree in economics. I'll help you decide. Give it here to me a minute. Thanks. Heads you spend it, tails you save it. Oh, God, isn't that the devil? Oh, looks like heads. Hard to tell from up here. Oh, hang on, we're missing the news.
As the European debt crisis enters its 9th year, bond markets remain closed to all but the core Eurozone nations. Across the so-called periphery of Europe, unemployment's at a record high as both the public and the private sectors cut back simultaneously. Meanwhile, in Frugalia, unemployment's half what it was when the crisis began.
I'd know that voice anywhere.
It's Stephanie Flanders of the BBC.
No, the chicken. I was right. Look at them poking at my hen house. The hens will stop laying.
Now by Monsieur Plastique, head of the European Bank of Common Sense and Stability, and Helen Dunkel, Chancellor of Frugalia. Behind us is the henhouse at the heart of the crisis. Monsieur Plastique, as a condition for your emergency loans, you imposed austerity budgets on the peripheral countries. Now, they were already in recession then. They've since suffered double dip, triple dip, and now quadruple dip recessions.
Yes, it has been tremendously successful.
If there's one thing we have learned over the years in Europe, it's that every problem can be solved by making it bigger.
Now, Chancellor Dunkel, you argue that the peripheral countries' imports from Frugalia cause dangerous imbalances in Europe.
Yeah.
And you also argue that Frugalia's exports to those same peripheral countries do not cause dangerous imbalances in Europe.
Exactly. To rebalance Europe, they must import less from us.
And Frugalia must export more to them.
Well, thank you very much. I'm sure that's clarified the situation for our listeners.
The Chancellor and I are here to see how the roof is coming along. Yes, and of course, Heidi, on behalf of the plain people of Frugalia.
I don't find her play.
Well, we're nearly up to the cliffs of Moher. We have the country covered. You should be getting a good supply of water.
Oh, we are.
And is it paying off our debt?
Remarkably.
Sadly,
No.
Indeed, despite bottling it in very attractive bottles, the value of the water is failing to meet the interest, let alone the repayments on the loan we gave you to build the roof.
That's a pity. Heidi, would you like an egg?
No, I have a sausage, but thank you.
Well, if you ever change your mind. So, after all our effort and suffering, we're worse off than ever.
You are, but don't worry, we have a plan.
In fact, that's the real reason we came here.
What is it?
A solar panel, very eco-friendly.
Made in Frugalia from lightweight composite materials.
It is designed to fit snugly to the surface of the roof.
Oh, it fits well.
Very snug.
So, if you could just head back the other way and fit these to the roof.
To the whole roof.
Oui, yes.
But they're black.
Well, yes, of course.
They aren't see-through.
They wouldn't be of much use if they let the light through now, would they?
It'll plunge Squanderland into darkness.
Merely physical darkness. The light of your spirit cannot be extinguished.
You will continue to inspire all of Europe with your sacrifices.
We're going to be in the dark.
A little light will seep in around the coastline. Your eyes will soon adjust.
But how can we afford to cover the entire country in solar panels?
Don't worry. We have had a word with the FMI. They will give you a loan.
But we don't even make solar panels.
No, but we do. Indeed, these are from my brother's small but efficient factory.
Won't that make our debt bigger?
Oh, temporarily.
So, we built this roof for nothing.
No. We thought the roof did quite well, considering.
Admittedly, you lost money on it and sank further into debt, but not much further. And the announcement reassured the markets for several days, which is what counts.
We'll be back in the spring to inspect you.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Navigator, rise up and be strong. The morning is here and there's work to be done.
I'll give you a hand in getting up over that edge, Chancellor. It can be tricky.
Thank you.
Where's Heidi?
Working overtime. She couldn't get the day off.
Now you, Mr. Plastic.
I must have put on some weight in the last few months.
Oh, congratulations. You've done an excellent job covering the roof.
Yes, we could see on our way here. There's not a crack of light getting through.
You really are a model European country. And now, I would love one of your famous omelettes after that climb.
Sorry, but I'm afraid my chickens have stopped laying.
It's the darkness.
No omelette? Ah, well.
Well, I suppose we could allow you to take some electricity from the solar panels to provide light for your henhouse.
No, it's all required to pay off the debt for the panels.
It's academic in any case. The solar panels haven't generated any electricity yet.
Really? Why not?
The Squanderland doesn't get any sun. It hasn't come out for weeks.
No, nonsense. The Eurozone average is 6 hours of sunshine a day.
But we're not all the same.
You are, if we average you out?
You must get over this obsession with whether or not it works.
The important thing is, it will reassure the market.
It shows that we are doing something.
It shows that we are in control.
Am I right in thinking that the ultimate outcome will be a devastated wasteland?
You're missing the point. You will be a devastated wasteland with a good credit rating.
See? The tourists are returning.
No, it's going the other way.
Everyone's going. The last of my old hurling team left the country yesterday.
Oh. Well, we'd better go eat.
Yeah.
I must say, it's becoming extraordinarily hard to find a decent restaurant in Squanderland.
Don't worry, we will give you a top marks in our report.
The markets will find it very reassuring.
Chicken for breakfast again. That's a treat.
There's not a lot of meat on her. She faded away in the dark. And that's the last chicken. I'm not sure what we're going to eat tomorrow.
Well, there's always Whittle and Baldy. You can go after breakfast.
Ouch! Must be off course. If I could see anything at all, I could navigate. Wait, Is that a light? It's a sign. Ah, Whittle! Mighty! There's a spud to be had here. North soda bread. That first, sauerkraut. Heidi.
Oh,
I thought you had a job in Frugalia.
I saw the ad when I was passing, and so now I have a second job here at Weekends. I pop over on Murphy Air. Every little helps.
Wasn't there anyone from Fripperary could do it?
They've all left for countries with sunlight. The town's nearly empty.
It must be a bit lonely in the evenings. Would you like to go to a film some night?
Oh, I also work the night shift across the road in Baldy.
Have you got no free time at all?
If I had free time, I would merely waste it in consumption. I prefer to be productive.
Oh, how come you've got electricity?
Because, unlike you feckless Squanderlandish, we can pay our bills.
Ah, how come you can pay your bills?
Because you spend all your money here.
Why? Where do you spend your money?
I don't spend my money. I'm too busy earning it and saving it for my children, if I can ever afford to have any. I will. Auf Wiedersehen.
Have you any money?
No, I spent it in Whittle and Baldy.
A pity. Your bonds are maturing. You'll need 100 billion to redeem them, and it's a difficult market for rolling them over.
But you told me it'd be easy to roll them over.
I did, didn't I?
You don't think there's a flaw in this setup, no?
No! All the figures are starting to add up. Soon Europe will be perfectly balanced.
It's getting very quiet down there.
I'd kill for an omelette.
I found a gull's egg in among the struts.
I suppose that'll have to do me. Get cooking. The wind's picking up. 5 iron, I think.
That's not a golf ball, that's... that was our last egg.
Oh! Look! Down there! Visitors!
Oh, they must be back to look at the henhouse. Oh, maybe Heidi's with them. Quick, put on the radio.
I'm standing beside the hugely overpriced henhouse that's come to symbolise all that went wrong with the European single currency. A worker bought this property in poor Squanderland, in effect by borrowing savings from a worker in rich Frugalia. It was all done with the help of the banks. The Frugalian bank lent the money to the Squanderlandish one, who then passed it on to the worker. Everyone, at every point in the chain, believed they were doing the right thing. But that was in the time of the boom. Then the bust came, the mood in the markets turned, and a crisis which the founders of the Euro said would never be allowed to happen, happened. Because there was no mechanism for solving a crisis that was never going to happen, it festered and came to infect the entire global financial system.
It's a bit depressing.
Jude of the henhouse Fripperary?
That's me.
Excellent. I'm Bertrand Plastique of the European Bank of Common Sense and Stability. This is Chancellor Juncker of Frugalia, and Heidi is here as a representative of the plain people of Frugalia.
Well, I think she's beautiful.
Lovely to see you again.
And to see you. Did you get the day off?
They closed the supermarkets when the last inhabitants of the town emigrated.
I see the economy of Squanderland has shrunk to nothing. Excellent. They have the capacity for unprecedented growth.
You're looking a bit peaky, Heidi.
San here.
Hang on a minute. Will you be going home to Frugalia?
Well, I've been laid off in Frugalia too. The main export market for my brother's factory suddenly dried up.
Ah, that's a shame. What was his main export market?
Squanderland.
I'm sorry.
No, it's good. You buy nothing, we sell nothing. At last we are back in balance. Oh, I'm sorry. I haven't eaten for days.
But what about your savings?
Oh, the same as always happens to savings in my family. I haven't a sausage.
I'd offer you an egg, but... hang on.
San here, Jude. It's for the good of Europe.
Right so. So, what was that?
Well, we have just walked the length of the country. You would appear to be the only Squanderlandish taxpayer who hasn't emigrated. As such, you are thus personally responsible for Squanderland's debt. That would include your original mortgage on the henhouse, your own bond for the roof, accumulated private debt, accumulated public debt, accumulated debts of the national banking system guaranteed by the government, which ultimately means you, plus the cost of one second-hand copy of a textbook on the principles of classical economics.
Put a figure on it.
Well, after a series of highly successful EU, FMI, and European Bank of Common Sense and Stability bailouts, let me see, 100 trillion.
€100 trillion or dollars?
We're not really fussy at this stage. Just give us 100 trillion of anything.
Let me think about it.
I'd settle for an egg.
I can do better than that. Would you like a bit of fresh meat, Heidi?
Ooh.
What are you doing? No, don't pull out the wire. The markets will panic.
Don't worry, I only need a single strand of it. You can have the rest.
What are you making? Oh, what is the noose for?
Noose?
Garrot, stand back.
Oh, this. I've made a snare. I will go back to snaring rabbits. It's a hard life, but satisfying. You can't snare rabbits on credit. You either catch a rabbit or you do not. You either eat or you do not. And no man has the advantage of you through better connections.
You are not paying back the debt.
I can't, and I wouldn't if I could.
But what about your henhouse?
Yeah.
Take it, I no longer suffer from the illusion of property ownership.
Illusion.
I do not own the property owns me. I will die slaving in its service. It is the hire purchase of a mausoleum.
Oh! You can't throw your money off the roof.
No, don't. We need all the money we can get.
Oh, I'm giving up on money entirely. It seems to me to be a rigged game. There is no longer a man alive in the free world who is not working for the banks and paying for the privilege. That seems to me a funny definition of freedom.
But where will you live with no money? The houses are all owned by the banks now. They will pursue you, evict you, repossess you.
I will live in the woods off beyond Lofty Bog as I did before my flirtation with prosperity. I will rise when I feel like it and fish when the fishing's good. And gather fruit when that is good, and nuts in their season.
But there will soon be no rabbits, with the roof blocking the sun and the rain.
Then the roof must go.
No! Wait! We can work something out. You can't just default. We can arrange a bailout of some kind, a restructuring, a new credit line, a troubled asset relief program, a European financial stability facility. You can be recapitalized, monetized, sterilized. We can share the pain. You can have a haircut. We'll do the twist.
And will it work, this frenzy of renaming the same debt?
No.
But it will buy us time.
Time to do what?
Time to save the system.
You are sacrificing the people to save the system. This seems to be the wrong way around. Give me that gun, look.
Don't! Your stance is all wrong.
You have built a structure over our heads. You claim it is necessary and you claim it protects us. I no longer believe either claim to be true.
Oh, no, the wind will catch her.
The wind can check her.
But the structure we have built, has it not protected Europe for a lifetime?
It is no longer in contact with the ground we live on. It has become a vast, well-meaning lie. We must tell each other the truth. Let me see. A wood, I think.
But if you tell the truth, the roof will fall in.
Then let the roof fall.
No, after all my hard work.
I'm not going to get my money back, am I?
No, listen. When the roof starts to go, hang on to me and we'll both slide back down to earth.
But must we return then to the era of war? Must we awake from the dream of unity?
No. Let there be honest speech between us, across our borders. Come and live with me in Lofty Bog. I will happily pay you back over time in things that are real, in rabbits and fruit and nuts in their season. And perhaps respect will grow, and later, love.
Perhaps.
Help me with this last pin. Use the 6-iron.
I will.
Do you know how to skin a rabbit?
I do.
Great. Hang on to me good and tight.
Come back!
Come back!
Come back!
How do we get down from here?
In The Great Squanderland Roof by Julian Gough, Jude was played by Rory Keenan and Finian by Dermot Crowley. Chancellor Dunkel was Adjoa Ando, Bertrand Plastique, James Lely, and Heidi, Claire Corbett. Stephanie Flanders was herself. The director was Di Spears.